1 second. I'm sure you can probably hear me now. Hear me now? Yeah, figures. Something weird happened. I don't know why that would have happened, but anywhooser, we're good. 1 second. I'm sure you can probably hear me now. Hear me now? That's stupid. Yeah, figures. Anyway, something weird happened. I don't know why that would have happened, but
screen. But anyway, sorry about
anywhooser, we're good.
So 2 stocks. We'll just start here at the SPY because it would
1
make
second.
things
I'm sure you can probably hear me now.
So
Hear me now? Yeah, figures. Anyway, something weird happened. I don't know why that would have happened, but
screen. But anyway, sorry about
anywhooser.
Okay, there should be no echo now. We're good. God. You know, if OBS would just stop screwing up my workstation every time I shut down, it'd be great. Appreciate that. That is just... No other sound would be on. Desktop audio. Yeah. Ugh. Finally. Perfect. So now that it appears we're all good, thank you for that. Sorry about that. Again, OBS and YouTube, I know for being really big multi-million-dollar companies, you guys sure dropped the ball this morning. Okay, maybe it was me, but we'll say it was them. Alrighty, so you can see here, market's gapping down, right? So if you go look at pretty much every single stock on the planet, you're going to notice that they're all gapping down. So Netflix, slight gap down. Facebook, gapping down. That actually looks like I didn't even really know. This is the first time I've looked at Facebook, and that looks pretty good for a short. Yeah, I mean, you kind of held, broke down, resistance, back up, resistance, back down. Yeah, probably be short bias on that today. Yeah, I'd probably watch Facebook short. Anyways, but you'll notice that most of the stocks are all gapping down. Oh, duh. Man, I really am dropping the ball this morning. So, yes. Wow, this has been a shit show. Anyways, so over to the SPY. That's great. And now Thinkorswim won't load. Perfect. All right, so market gapping down. Got it? No, I trade from a computer. So, yeah, you can see if SPY's gapping down pretty good overnight and into this morning. So, pretty much any large cap stock that you look at should be gapped down. I kind of showed you Facebook. I was talking about that while I was showing my beautiful face. But, yeah, if you go look at Facebook this morning, you're going to see there's a slight gap down over the past, I think it was like 10 past 10 days. You can see it's kind of been rejecting right around the 179 or 180 level. So pretty much everything you look at should be gapping down today. But I want to go talk about Roku and AMD. I like those two kind of the best. All right, so if you take a look at Roku is starting to turn into more of, I don't want to say it is just yet, but it's starting to give us kind of a short setup now. So we've tried to bounce. We started bouncing here. We held, we bounced there, we bounced, we curled up the other day, we came down, then we pushed back up. And so what we're coming to find is Roku has been trying to bounce, but it's been failing to bounce. And if it continues to do what it's doing, which is failing, we're going to roll over, and we might, in fact, now come down and break below 98 because the bounce has been tried, and the bounce is failing. So this is now starting to roll over, and if this starts to come down pretty aggressively, there's a good chance that Roku is going to turn into a new down leg short move and break below 98 and go into another big kind of panic sell-off. So that's what I'm starting to think now. Before I was long biased on Roku, but now that it's taken so long for it to bounce and actually successfully bounce, I'm starting to lose faith, which is what other people are doing too. So the longer it takes, the more faith people are going to lose in that bounce, and they're going to start kind of selling or giving up on that trade or that order. And as that happens, the price will roll over, and anybody who is still in Roku is going to end up getting stopped out, and they're going to end up panic selling as it comes down and maybe breaks 98. So today, or you can see, we kind of rejected around 110. That would have been what, like Friday, and we kind of came down. Then Monday, we went right up. Yesterday, we went right up to 110.50 and just immediately got pushed right back down. Today, slight gap down in the market, starting to create the rolling pattern. So if this can start getting below the short-term levels of 104, 105, that should probably bring us back down into the 99s or low 100s. And then from there, if we start to really break down 98, we should see a big kind of short move. How should you prep? I mean, I don't really know. I don't prep for trade talks. I mean, it just happens. So, I mean, I wouldn't really prep for it. You can argue that you shouldn't have any swing trades open because if they don't go well, maybe we whipsaw down. If they do go well and you're short, maybe it whipsaws up. So, excuse me. So, I mean, there's really best way you can do is if you think there's going to be extreme volatility in the market that you cannot get ready for, then you just don't have any open positions up until that point. All right, so Roku is starting to kind of feel more of a short play. And then AMD over the past couple days has bounced pretty well. Wow, that just looks terrible. Hold on. Yeah, I got to figure out. I can't remember what I'm doing. Hold on. Anyways, so yeah, if we kind of zoom in, you can see over the past couple days, AMD had a pretty nice bounce over 3 or 4 days. Now we're starting to roll under. And this morning, the whole, say we had a nice gap down here on AMD. And I would probably watch this more to the short side just because ultimately we bounced. We hit resistance. We've come down. The market's bearish this morning. And now it's starting to kind of roll to the downside. So I would probably be watching AMD to the short side. Pretty much anything large cap related today, I'd probably be watching to the short side. Nope, you cannot set a stop loss during extended trading hours. What do you think a fair amount of money to start trading with is? It's pretty much an impossible question, but yeah, I mean, couple thousand, 15,000, 10,000, 5,000. That's all respectable money to start trading with. You don't need a ton of money to trade anyways. Really, all you need is a couple $100 to trade. No, I to be completely honest, I haven't really looked at airlines much. So, no. I know DAL has fallen, but not really looking at airlines, no. How do you find easy to borrow stocks? Pretty much anything large cap will probably end up being easy to borrow. But again, usually the easy to borrow symbol will be right up at the top of your screen here, and it usually opens up when you have the active trader. Every once in a while, it won't display there. And what you're going to want to do is under TOS on your watch list, right? When you open up your Thinkorswim, you can put the little watch list on the side of your charts. You can also add ETB or HT, excuse me. You can add the setting to your watch list and you'll always have it. Can you short with a cash account? No. Crazy question. Are you buying into the recession rumor? It's not a rumor by any means. It's 100% factual truth. We are going to have a recession or we are going to have a crash. It's going to happen without a doubt. 100%. What do I think about Lightspeed versus E-Trade versus Thinkorswim? E-Trade, Thinkorswim are just more universal platforms with better charting services, whereas Lightspeed is more of an interactive broker, which you might get a little bit better execution and better shares to short. Or yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you trade pairs? No, I do not trade foreign exchange currency. Yes, I do have scanners that look for stocks gapping up. Gap and Go is not a scanner. Gap and Go is really just a way that a stock sets up through pre-market trading. But yes, I do buy low float penny stocks when they're good to trade. More oftentimes than not, penny stocks are not good to trade. So more often than not, I won't be trading them. So that's another thing, is I only trade penny stocks when they're good to trade penny stocks. So if you see penny stocks on my watch list, there's a good chance you're going to want to look at them, because I don't just throw out any penny stock. I just usually only throw out ones that I really strongly feel are going to be good. So yes. Free commissions, awesome. I love it. Yeah, somebody asked me to take a look at Crowdsource or CRWD or CrowdStrike. Is that what it is? CrowdStrike. Yeah, this looks decent so far. I mean, yeah, CrowdStrike just came off a bounce right into resistance. I probably wouldn't be buying that right now. I'd be watching it for a pullback day. More stuff is probably going to have pullback days if the market has a bearish day than it will be green. And that's another thing, guys. You have to prepare yourself around the market, right? So some people are like, oh, trading is just so hard. Like, whenever I think something's going to go up, it goes down. It's like, yeah, but you also don't even watch the market. So how would you even have a clue as to what's going on, right? You have to be mindful of what the market's like and how stocks are most likely going to react for the day based on the way the market's moving or trading. Is there any cost for holding stocks overnight in Thinkorswim? No, there's not any cost for holding stocks overnight in Thinkorswim as long as you're using your capital. If you're using leverage or you're using their capital, then yes, they're going to charge you a small interest fee or something for having an overnight position. AMTD long? No, I never got long on AMTD. Which is the best time frame to day trade? The best time frame to day trade is a time frame that you find to be the best for yourself for trading. There is no specific time frame or one size fits all. It's more or less what are you like the best, or what you come to find works really, really well for you in regards to time frames and trading. Why am I 100% sure we're going to have a crash or recession? Because it's inevitable. That's just it. It's inevitable. Humans make the same mistakes over and 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 over, and we're doing it all again. The only way we're not basically the one way that we would alleviate having the big expansion and the big contraction or the big bull market and big bear markets is if you stopped printing money, basically. If you stop printing money, then there'd be a greater chance that you wouldn't have so many recessions. But again, then that means that the system would lose its ultimate monetary control over its civilians if there was no means of just controlling and printing the money, which they don't want. They want as much control as they can possibly have, especially over the money that makes the world go round. So if we got rid of things like Federal Reserve and we stopped printing so much money, those would be ways to alleviate the big booms and busts in the world, and many other things. But that's it. We're in a system, in the way that it's built and the way that it operates means we're going to go through phases of big bull markets and we're going to go through phases of recessions. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. Recessions are normal. Crashes are usually something underlying the surface that breaks in the system and then everything comes toppling down over it. So recessions, normal, but really bad recessions or depressions or crashes, those are because of some type of underlying crack in the system that usually breaks down everything, topples over top of each other. But you wouldn't have so much of that too if there wasn't so much printing of money and things like that. I would say if you were planning on getting long gold or anything silver related, you should have been getting long like about a year or so, 2 years ago, personally, for long term wise. Nope, no difference from trading today. Well, I mean, there's the market will change, obviously in a recession, but ideally what's going to happen is you're going to see more downward pressure on stocks. So primarily anybody who doesn't have margin accounts or anybody who doesn't know how to trade options or anybody who doesn't know how to get involved playing things to the downside, they're going to get swept to the side and they're going to get annihilated. So as long as you know how to short, have the capabilities to short, then the likelihood of you making money or having a better time while the market's going down will be much greater than others. But for those of them that are just long-term investors, don't do any sort of trading, don't do any sort of shorting. Their 401ks and long-term investment retirement accounts are just going to go, they're going to take a nosedive. And that's pretty much, so there's just going to be more opportunity to the downside because more stocks are just going to be going down. So you have to be playing the downside during a recession. And then till in stocks, kind of get back towards good levels to buy and the economy starts to kind of come back, and then you can buy into stocks again. So why is it you can't put stop orders in extended trading? That's because when you put in a stop loss, you're putting in a market order, right? So if you have a stop loss, it means sell my shares, market order, get me out. In after-hours trading or pre-market trading, market makers are not there to execute market orders. They're only there to do limit orders. So your stop-loss order is really not a thing because that type of service is not being provided at that time of day for you. Hold on. I just don't even know what happened there. Okay. All right, got about a minute here. Sure Trader versus CME Group. I don't really know CME. I haven't looked into them much. Sure Trader, I mean, they're decent, but they're not the greatest. Acer today, low float, not much volume there. I didn't really think it was going to be that great. How do you define a penny stock amount? Penny stocks are defined by monetary value, so anything below $5 or $5 is considered a penny stock, but you should also consider stocks being penny stocks if they came from $1, $2, $3, and they're trading at $7, $8, $9, $10, $15, $20, $75 until they can sustain over $5 successfully. Then they are considered a penny stock. How do you feel about Iron Condor on AMD? I don't particularly trade options too much, but if you feel that AMD is going to pretty much consolidate and stay sideways, isn't going to give you too much movement to the upside or the downside, then yeah, you could play an Iron Condor type situation on it. MNK thoughts. I don't know MNK well enough right now to give you a quick spiel on it. Do you trade pennies, option swings? I trade penny stocks. I trade large cap stocks. I do swing trading. I do occasional options, but I do not trade Forex. Not having a recession is like saying the market will never make a new high. It's going to happen. Exactly, Daniel. Presently ingesting the BRT course for another time. Something new every time. The question is always when, but it doesn't matter. You should just always prepare. Recessions are exactly a normal part of the economic cycle. Hey, going back to earlier, Q and plans to make a video about how new traders could manage a small account size like I could do it, but nobody's going to like that video because I'm just a very realistic person when it comes to that. So, if you want the true way to build a small account, then yeah, you can watch my video. But if you want the get rich quick or you can do this and make a lot of money with a small account, then it won't be the video for you. It would be very strange if one, probably super dangerous. Yes, you can use the Thinkorswim charts without opening. Well, no, you have to open an account with them in order to get onto Thinkorswim, but you don't necessarily have to have a bunch of money in your account or be trading live with them to use their software. Yep, you're right, Kelly, about that. Do you day trade? Yes, I day trade. If I had a choice, Visa over MasterCard for the next 10 years, honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but probably I would choose Visa. Wow, hold on, or almost there. We have 9:02. I want to get through the rest of these. Do you think recession will come before or after the presidential election? If you want to talk conspiracy theories, then personally, I think, actually, no, I can't even go that far. But yeah, I do think the election is going to play a big role on that because the election is really what determines whether or not Trump's going to get a deal with China, or China's going to kick the can and then try and just roll over and they're just going to try and roll over on a new president if we get a new president. If we get a new president, China's then going to not really make a good deal, and the new president's going to roll over like a good dog, and then they're going to take it from behind, and then China's going to get over on us again, and that's what's going to happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to run. Got to get back to our private trading team, so I do appreciate you guys tuning in, as always. But yeah, with that being said, everybody take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning for another stream, I think.